Hi guys, AdventurousDrake here, and welcome to Gameplay Shortcuts. Today I'm gonna be looking at NiOh, and this is a beta demo. Now the weird thing about that is that it's only available for a limited time, and if you're watching this after September 6th, 2016, then the demo is over. I'm not sure why it's only 2 weeks. Well, I assume maybe it's because it's a beta, but it's a little weird anyway. So anyway, I didn't want to make a video of this because this is a game that is like really difficult for me. I usually don't play these kind of games. This is the same as Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. So yeah, it's a hard games, but I love the setting so much that I actually wanted to do something about it. So I'm gonna start a new game. The reason for that is because I've actually played this for under an hour and a half, and I died quite a bit. But I didn't want to fight my way all the way back, so that's just to get from the beginning. So that's why I'm starting a new game. So no items, no nothing, and yeah, here we go. Okay, now this is pre-recorded footage, and one of the reasons is because it's really difficult to talk about this one. For me, I need to concentrate like 100% on this, so I figured I'll just record it and do some voiceovers. I am going to show you guys a little bit of the tutorial section, and that's because then if you don't know what this game is about, you might get a better idea of what I'm doing, because otherwise it looks like I'm just pushing buttons and stuff. So also I'm not using all the what's it called? Oh man, I'm just totally blank here. I'm not using all my skills that are available because the timing is it has to be so exact that I'm not really used to this kind of gameplay. So there we go. Some quick and some slow attack. Well, strong attack. That's a lock-on. Yeah, I haven't used it. Probably due to my lack of my skills. But I didn't find it too cumbersome without the lock-on, so I don't know. Maybe once you get further in, it's actually much more useful. So I love the setting. Of course, as some of you may know, I live in Japan, and this is kind of like a Japanese look, I would say, even though it's set in a bit of a fantasy world. Yeah, I sort of didn't know what to do here first. I thought I had to do a dodge move, so that's why I'm sort of dodging and getting out of the way. But I realized that I actually have to just kill the guy. Yeah, so I'm looking for the button combinations here. Just waiting for the card. Okay. There we go. Then I was like, ah, screw it. Let's just kill the guy. Oops. And I was like, oh, I actually finished it. Alright, okay. I'm not gonna show you guys the whole, all the tutorial. Just a little bit of it. You have this high stance, mid stance, and low stance. Most of the time I found that mid stance is the way to go. And yeah, while I have played more than I'm gonna show in this video, I only used low stance once, and those were most against a few monsters. or yokai, which are basically ghosts, but they look more like zombies, just very fast zombies. So mostly the medium seems to be my kind of play style. So this is like the medium stance. And now we change to low stance. So you hit a lot faster and you use less ki, which is basically stamina. It's the green bar there. The blue bar is actually your health. Alright, okay, we're gonna jump forward a little bit and let's start the game. Okay, so here we go. This is from the absolute beginning. And he looks a little bit like a Witcher. Well, Geralt, to be more specific. Even though I haven't played that game. Not yet, at least. Haven't had the time. Yeah, so they're gonna talk Japanese as this is the Japanese version. I was just got lucky that I could get the English menu system. So I hope the final version of the game will have that as well. You never know. Now these guys are these little Kodama characters. This is where you save. This is where you level up. This is where you do offerings, do a bunch of stuff. I'll be showing a few of these things as I go along. I just offered them my old wooden sword, and I get Amrita for it, which is basically your experience point. So you just hear what these guys' final words are, and it's translated there if you want to know what they're talking about. Here's a little bit of menu system. So that the spirit stone. So if you use these spirit stones, you get the Amrita, which is experience. So just you just use both, and I'm gonna run back and level up and stuff. So I'm gonna edit here, and I'll continue from there. Okay, so here we go. I've leveled up a little bit. Yeah, so the first time I played through this, I don't know how many times I've died. So I played around an hour and a half before I actually recorded this footage, so that I could actually show something off. I remember I did play Demon's Souls back in the days, not for long, because it's hard, and I'm not really playing games because they're hard. I'm playing them because just for entertainment and just enjoyment. So I'm not really there to prove my skills or anything. But I thought Demon's Souls were easier. So this somehow just became hard, much harder somehow. I don't know why I thought Demon's Souls were easier. So these are all dead soldiers. Want revenge. I'm trying a bomb there for the first time. Actually never tried it before. Yeah, so the biggest issue I have is handling of my stamina, or ki power, as it's called here. And you run out of it really fast. Now there is one thing that you can do to increase the regeneration of it, is that you see these blue dots after you. Oh, before I continue, here is this. Here is one of these little Kodama guys, and if you go back later on, they can help you increase the drop rates on either armor, weapons. That's pretty much as far as I've gotten in the demo. So yeah, so here you see that there are like these blue sparkles that are going around your character, and that's if you hit the R1 button at the correct time, then your ki regenerates much faster. And I don't know if it goes full, but it's really hard for me to time it, at least with this game through. Maybe if I would play more, I'll probably get used to it after a while, but at the moment, it doesn't really work very well for me. Nah, that was just clumsy. Basically every time, the one cool thing about the game is that every time you miss or someone hits you or something and it's like, oh man, it was my fault. It's rare that it's someone else's fault. Although on occasion the camera can get a little bit in the way or just not show the enemy at all. So in that case I can blame it on the camera, but for the most part you feel that you should have done better. So one character is usually quite easy to deal with as long as they are not a boss or something like that. But once you start hitting 2 or more, then it becomes kind of rough. At least for me. There is my spear. I'm a spear guy, I realized. I did try all the weapons. I even got on my previous playthrough, I got a blue axe. Unfortunately, axes are so slow that I actually didn't enjoy it at all. I'm much more of a katana guy and a spear guy, and I thought spear was really cool because it's a little stronger than the katana, which is a sword, but it has longer reach. It's a little bit slower, but it's not that slow, so I kind of enjoy it. So I'm a spear guy, definitely a spear guy. Now here you have actually 2 different areas. You can walk up there, or you can go this way. Now if you go that straight down here, that's actually takes you directly. I realized later on that it takes you directly to the village, but it's also much harder, as you will see in a second here. Yeah, so that's the easier route, as I realized after a while. Yeah, so it's all about memorization in this game. Yeah, so here I overextended, just got off balance, and there we go. That was it. Just died instantly, even though I have beaten those guys before. Now, one of the things that makes this game hard is that I'm here at the beginning again. And now I have to go through all that thing that I've done before. And that I don't have much of a patience for that. I usually like to just pick up where I left off, or a little bit back is fine, but here you have to go all the way back. So to the previous shrine. And yeah, so I'm gonna spare you guys the pain of watching through the same thing, and I'm gonna fast forward till where I'm actually making progress again. Okay, so we are back. I just killed those two guys, and here is my grave. This is where I died last time, and I got all my Amritas back, my experience points and stuff like that, because you do lose it if you die. Oops, there is a guy. I also thought that I'm just gonna have to re-record this again. Because I actually don't have any more healing potions. You actually do get healing potions every time you go to one of these shrines. But and that's your save point as well. But it sort of respawns everything in the world, so you really don't want to do that too often. So I was like, we'll see how far I get, and just continued anyway. I actually know this area here because this is my sort of second playthrough, so I know most of the places. I've probably been to 90% of the places on this map. This is where he was talking about the key that you can replenish if you use the R1 button. I thought I knew where I was going there. But then I realized that nope, that's not the way I need to go. Ooh, and that was a surprise. I didn't remember that guy at all. Because this game is very much about memorization. So, and dying and redoing, remember, level up, come back a little bit stronger. So yeah, so if you see from my previous edit, I actually have a little bit more armor on me. But the armor doesn't really help much. Your best thing is to just avoid being hit in general. Because the armor so far is very wimpy. I also just noticed as I'm watching this that my Amrita gauge, or whatever, is totally full. I've actually never used it. I didn't think about it. Kodama of the Children of the Bowls. Something like that. So yeah, so just a point about the menu system. I think it's actually very logical. Usually I have a problem with menu system. They're convoluted and you have to learn it exactly the way they want you to use it and stuff. But in this one, it was very intuitive. I actually could figure it out quite fast. And I thank the game for that, or game designers for that. So, because that's a rarity somehow. especially for a complicated game like this. Now, it's an easy game, then it's fine, but this has quite a bit of stuff to keep track of. So, sacred water. It actually replenishes your key, and I'm not sure if it actually helps against poison. I did get poisoned at one point, and yeah, I thought I was cured, but in the end I don't remember, unfortunately. So I didn't record that footage, so I couldn't go back and check it out whether that was the case or not. Here is a little Kodama dude. So they have different bowls on their heads, and depending on the bowl, that's you can only choose one at a time. But that's how you choose whether you want to have more armor drop rates or if you want more what's it called, more weapon drop rates. I think I'm going to show it here. Right now this is the leveling up system. Just adding some more stamina. Well, I'm gonna fast forward here as well, so so you guys can see a little bit more action. Okay, so here I'm actually going in the wrong direction because I just wanted to pick up the bow and show you guys. Just running back a little bit here because the other guy was coming as well. Their aggro radius seems to be very small though, at least in the demo. So in one way I probably could have stayed there and it would be fine. I'm just not entirely sure. There we go. We found some. So here's like, oh, and I thought and then he would pursue me, and yeah, he did. So, oops. Yeah, so there are actually harder dudes to kill, apart from your average grunt, and you also get better loot if you do the more harder guys. But you're also gonna be at risk a lot more, and it's going to be much harder to kill them, so it's gonna take you a little while. I realized that I haven't, because I ran out of elixirs, and I realized I didn't have a shortcut menu for that. Yeah, so now everything is respawned, so if I go back to the guys who I just killed, those guys will be there again. So, but since I need to go in the other direction, it doesn't matter. And if you have run out of elixirs, or which are healing potions basically, then you can just go up to the shrine again and they'll refill your health, and they give you 3 of these. I got an extra because I was giving them yeah, you can make them offerings, so all the stuff you don't need, all the garbage, they can take and they reward you with that. You can sometimes get extra items, and I got an extra health potion, so to speak, this time. I realized that I had a charm. I had never had that before, even though I played it in my previous playthrough. I never found the charm. So I guess it's a bit randomized. There we go, there is the bow. Oh, I think I'm praying again. Basically, you don't actually lose your equipment. So even if I would have died right here, I would have still kept my bow. I just forgot, and that's why I ran back. And he actually noticed me. This is actually the first time he notices me, but because I've been here several times before on my previous playthroughs, and he never noticed me until I actually shot him. But for whatever reason, this playthrough he noticed me right away. I don't know. Maybe he grew smart. Yeah, I'm actually looking for the small fire that is up to the right there, and I didn't realize that you could actually jump up from the top of the cliff, and you would have landed there. So now I just can't reach it. But I realized that it's a little too late. So let's move on. And we are getting close to our goal. It's not much left here now. There's a bit of inventory management, I must admit, but that's just the way. It's just to make sure that you're always prepared. You always have to prepare in this game, or you'd be dead really, really fast. There we go. Now you can actually zoom in. I thought I was being clever, but it seems to be real-time physics, so if he moves, he won't... Yeah, I just says if the headshots actually gives you a lot more. It gives you like 5 times the power. Sometimes I've headshot a character and they insta died. So bow and arrow can be very, very powerful. Obviously I failed in this one, and the previous the guy was too strong, and that's actually kind of satisfying. Just stab them in the back. And this in here I think is our goal. This is the boss fight. Not in there. There we go. I'm actually a bit clumsy here because I've done way better against him before. But I was hoping to be able to use the bow, but that was actually stupid. He's way too close for that. And we be dead. Yeah. So anyway, that's NiOh for you. This demo is available till September 6, 2016. So if you can have a time and want to try it out, grab it. If you watch it later, well, I hope you enjoyed it, so you understand a little bit what it's about. For me, I've actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, and really love the environment, really love the progression system and all that kind of stuff. So I'm unfortunately, I won't be picking it up, at least not at launch, because it's still a very hard game and very time consuming. So I just don't have the time to do it, but maybe later down the line I'm gonna pick it up and see if I can do a full playthrough. And probably not on my channel, because that would take forever. But for my own amusement, so to speak. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and if you guys liked the video, please like and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and until next time, take care guys!